Aye. Or general at Lake, no, just the phone number, just phone. Okay, we'll just do the phone number. So let's, look at expenditures in local, in the, general government. Can you look at those?
Yeah, I can just start with those. So if we go to the page that says general government and has the expenses listed, the second page, I do believe.
Yeah.
So this page shows the increases in the budget from 2023 to 2024. And in general government, the expenses, there's no total there, but they're going up by 44,700. Because the actuals were higher in 2023. 2024 includes data processing. We have more online presence with the cloud service with Maze, so there's extra fees involved in that. Wage increases. And then insurance, I've budgeted higher because the environment for getting insurance out there is not slowing down, it keeps getting more expensive. The fire department budget was pre-approved. There is an increase in that budget from 2023 to 2024, $47,600. The bylaw enforcement budget is increasing by 5,000. That one has been held steady for 4 or 5 years, so this is the first increase in that budget. The Public Works Administration budget is actually decreasing $32,000, but the garbage collection, with the addition of the recycling, we anticipate will cost us about $69,000 more. So the total budget for Public Works is going up by 37,000. The planning budget is staying the same. We have added $48,000 to the planning budget for a contractor, and that is covered by grant money by CMHC. The other functions budget, there's nothing too exciting there. We haven't budgeted for the parking. And the columbarium shows the $2,000 decrease, but it's added into the parks budget. The fire smart numbers we are still working on, but that's grant money coming in and grant expenses going out, so it doesn't affect that bottom line. The visitor center expenses have been, the budget's been increased by $2,100. And the parks budget has been increased by $44,000. So before Lakeview and Quebec, the budget for operating expenses is up $168,400. And a 4% tax increase is relating to, as you can see on the first page there, is roughly $101,000. So the rest of the capital and the rest of the operating expense increases is not coming from taxation increases.
It's coming from grants and.
Grants, reserves, and previous years, yeah.
So let's go through this. We have any questions here. Councilor.
Are you gonna start on general and then you want to work way, or can we just jump in?
Whatever you wish.
Just a question to the CEO, the bylaw enforcement, is that wages or is there other expenses?
Wages.
The wages are in there.
It includes wages, it includes the animal control contractor, Coastal, in Duncan. It also includes materials and supplies that they do. Yes, it's everything, all encompassing.
But the main thing
Is, yeah.
Follow?
Yeah, is there ever any revenue from bylaws as far as fines and stuff?
A bit, but not much.
Not much, eh? Thank you.
So does that piggyback building inspection within that as well? And that's included. Building inspection.
Bylaw enforcement and others includes building inspection as well.
That's what I thought, but I just wanted clarification.
Yes, it does.
So, sorry, just to follow up, so bylaw, building inspection and the animal control contract, wages are all in that 70 grand?
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions on that? Yes, Councillor Senator.
Thank you. Couple things. So the Otaki expense, we're budgeting for 5,000 for this year. Are we doing something?
They're coming here, right?
No, they're coming next year.
Who's that, should that be?
Yeah, they're not coming next year.
Or I thought somebody said it.
We're going next year and they're going. I'm working on the we're going.
Okay, so that we don't come like.
So we can probably,
they're not
No, they
coming-
said they're coming 2025.
Let's leave the 5,000. Yeah, they're coming this year.
yeah.
Then they changed it from what I have,
Oh, okay.
because they came last year.
Yeah, they're coming to games.
The other one was the grant aid I wanted to bring forward was, we budget for 3,000 each year. And I asked a question about the high school scholarships. So we used to do two $500.
Now,
Now we do $1,000. And I'm just wondering what the appetite is, with this council to start doing two $1,000 bursaries.
Do you want me to bring back the number of applicants that we used to get to versus how many we are getting? Is that helpful at all?
Yeah.
because I mean, you want to give it to students who do well.
Well, you have a criteria.
Yeah, and we have not been very fortunate in getting. You know, students with good grades, so, in last year.
What is their criteria?
Oh, I mean, you have to,
Pursue, we look at students that do well, that are pursuing any kind of a career in local government.
Okay, that is a key.
that's the first criteria, and going to university.
And
Well, yeah, you have to. be. Because I just think, I would just like to offer more, and I know that the CBRD, each director has their own budget, and I know that Director Morrison increased his last year or the year before. So I just wondered what.
So if you're willing to wait till the next meeting, you can bring that forward, the possibility of an increase within the grants and aid to accommodate the scholarship. Let's take into consideration that within the grants and aid, we have the ones that we contribute to yearly, which do come out of that $3,000 total. So currently, I believe the scholarship comes out of that yearly, and that leaves us with a $2,000 pool for the remainder of the community to put forward grants. And I know there might be an appetite of opening that up for a year-round application process instead of a March 31st drop dead. So that may be a further discussion on the implementation of the increase as well. Yeah.
Well, what my suggestion is that we leave the 3,000 as a grant and aid, but we separate the scholarships.
So you do another 2,000?
Yeah.
Okay,
But we'll bring that forward, I'll bring that forward.
bring that forward to the next budget discussion for clarification. Perfect. Anything else? Go ahead, Tom.
Make a comment that because of COVID for the 2 years, there was probably a decline in groups looking for any sort of grants. And we may start to see an increase of applications. There's a lot of sports groups going and doing things.
I can give you a total of what we've been given out the last couple of years, if that's helpful.
If you do a running 3-year total, going back to, the end of COVID, if you don't mind, that would be helpful.
And to there also be something on our Facebook site to let these groups know that we have this funding available.
I believe it is on the website.
On the application, yeah, we're looking for it. If you don't know it's there, but it's go looking.
Yeah, once we finalize this, we'll certainly direct staff to do that.
Communications. That one word.
So I'm gonna go down to other functions. Couch and Aquatic Center, you'll notice there is no contribution as there was in the past, because the Couch and Aquatic Center now resides within the regional recreation function. It was one of the 9 facilities that are now funded within that. So our contribution to get out of the two-tiered pay system has been rectified with the implementation of the regional recreation fund. So those contributions discontinued in 2022. They were expired but not renegotiated pending the results of the referendum question and the implementation of that. We are currently in the second year of the funding implementation of that regional recreation. There's one more year for full implementation of the usage portion within that function. So we will see another increase within the regional recreation function next year, and then looking for updated numbers to accommodate those 9 facilities, how that would be allocated throughout the region on usage. So just a heads up on that. On the, where am I? Public health. Is that the,
That's the ambulance and the health center,
they're both tied together?
yeah, separate line,
It's lease revenue and expenses.
I'm sorry, can you get?
it's a net, right?
Well, I'm just showing the expenses here. It's lease revenues and lease expenses.
So where would, if I may, where would the maintenance of the building reside? Would that be the leaseor's responsibility or the town's responsibility having ownership of that building?
Some of the things are in their contract that they cover and some of them the town sides, so that's what it would be.
Anything else on those? As we said, the fire department has been done. It's been approved as a finalization of the CDRD budget, because there are 3 areas that contribute fire service agreements to our local department. So it has to go through the CDRD's portion and ours for approval. We didn't pick the button.
Somebody kicked the bucket, go there.
So I think we'll pause on that, if you don't mind. We've got some budget considerations on the capital portion that we've had initial discussions on. And then, we'll move forward at a future meeting on those budget discussions, and then anything that, council wants to bring forward, whether it's scholarships or any additional ideas that we may have implemented for this year, what you think that might be desirable within the community. Joseph.
Yeah, the one thing that council will have to look at, once we look at the 5-year plan, is to look at increases for water, sewer, and garbage. Those rates have to be established next year.
And again, the 5-year plan is just the crystal ball looking forward.
Yeah,
The only year we're dealing with currently is 2024, but we have to legislatively do the 5-year plan as a synopsis. And within that 5-year plan, we have to implement asset management and asset retirement, which you can have to do a decade ago. So that impacts considerably when the budget process and the budget impacts, if I may. So with that, I'm gonna ask if we could do next Thursday. Look at your schedules.
What's the date?
It's just prior to Good Friday.
Bad
Just
Thursday.
prior to the Easter long weekend, the 28th.
Can we get a treat that day? Yeah, come on.
If it's the same time.
I would rather do a later one. I would rather do a late one to accommodate perhaps people that would like to attend who have worked and would like to attend after 5 o'clock. So check your calendars, your schedules to see how we can accommodate a 5 p.m. start. Not that day. Okay, Wednesday I have CDRD. Tuesday we have council. So how about Wednesday, April 3rd?
5 p.m.
At 5 p.m. You can do that? Councilor Maka, Councilor Austin?
Yeah.
So the next meeting is set for April 3rd. At 5 p.m. Hoping to accommodate some of those within the working class. We will put that date and time within our website and Facebook page to accommodate as many public who wish to join us as possible. With that, one more time, if you're online and you have questions about today's discussion, 250-749-3239. 250-749-3239. I will turn to the audience who is remaining and see if there's any questions from you that are answered. Yeah. Mr. Clancy,
Thank you very much.
can I just ask that you come up so the elephant? Owl.
Where would you like me to stand?
Wherever you can see you.
Perfect, okay. Actually, I had a few questions. What was RFP, the acronym for?
Oh, request for proposal.
Request for proposal. That was just, I was trying to think. And then I had another general one, which I was Googling. Capital expenses, are they included in the Cowichan Lake Education Center's expenses, or they're separate? They're separate, correct? Okay, so it's so it costs a little bit more. And then there was a question regarding the CLEC. What percentage of it is actually rented out during its availability season? Like what capacity is that if it were like an occupancy rate? Do you have that number by chance?
It varies, and the main season, as you all know, given the tourism industry that we're working in. We've been renting out facility to group organizations actually from January this year or February this year. And April and May are April and part of May are slow. Then right through the next November, we are booked, you know, almost every day. With group organizations, pre-booked. Now I say almost every day. Is it 100% occupancy? No, because we could see theoretically 100 people. But during the summer, our occupancy rate is very high. So
Okay.
to cram 100 people in that place would be very rare.
I was just wondering based on its potential, like if it's at a very low occupancy rate or a usage rate, then there's much more potential for, you know, if marketing is done. And I did notice I was on the website, it still says booking 2022 summer as well, just so you might want to check that on the website. When you go to like book the CLEC, it does mention that on the website. I was just checking on
I
this.
thought that was addressed actually.
Yeah.
I think you may be looking at an old site, but I could be wrong.
I went on the town by Couch and linked on it, but you can check it out. That was just yesterday. And then the other question was regarding the, if I have time, the new Sandy dump. You've got the expenses. So I was a little confused, so it's got $10,000 for 2024 for the Sandy dump expenses, but also the pay to use Sandy dump systems, $15,000. I'm just wondering, is the Sandy dump disposal expenses, like it wasn't in 2022 or 2023? So is that related to the new pay-per-use system?
Right.
So that like the total cost then would actually, it would be like the 10,000 plus the 15 would be the expected cost?
Yeah, well, the
Or-
capital cost is a one-time cost.
Oh, okay.
The
10,000
15,
operating cost.
And the
the
15
10,000 is an estimate of the operating costs. We don't actually know what those costs are gonna be.
So
We know
that,
some of them, but
gotcha, so that kind of be the expected. And then I noticed there was a large increase in the revenue. So was it operational last year? Because it was expected $2,000. You guys brought in $16,000 and change. Is that due to the pay-per-use being utilized?
I believe we didn't want to share what the amount was publicly due to vandalism and stealing from the donation box.
Okay, gotcha. So, and then, but the revenues aren't necessarily expected to go up next year.
Depends on who you talk to.
I get, okay, so
It could very well be, we're being conservative.
being conservative, okay, that was the main question, just for the cost benefit, okay, perfect, thanks, guys. Looks
Can
good,
I just add something to your question?
Yeah.
December through March usually, those are, it is an off season, that's what we are trying to,
yeah, that's the target market, you're trying to
off season,
fill out that,
anywhere in Vancouver Island, as you all know.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
tough to do during those months, but we're working on that, and most of our clients are not for profit clients.
yeah.
So not business plans necessarily, so it's a little tougher and just want to make.
And it's not like it's not actually owned by the town of Lake Couch, and it's like you mentioned, it's a permitted lease, so it's, yeah, so.
Through the provincial government.
And I've just noticed, like, it's generally a net negative, like the taxpayers are essentially, like, it's a cost to the people, it hasn't really. From my understanding, run a consecutive positive, so that's why I was asking, what's the potential? Cause you know, if it's already at capacity, then the future potential, you can only make more money by raising rates, but if you're only utilizing a very small amount, then there's a lot of potential there, and maybe it can be a net positive on the budget.
Yeah, that's a simplified version, but if you were at all the meetings that I speak at,
Yeah,
you'll know that a lot of the big improvements that have been done in town. For tourism industry, et cetera, campsite, those are part and parcel of the operations of the education center.
yeah, the budget looks good, thanks, guys.
And with the lease through the province, there was stipulations on how that facility could be utilized.
Yeah.
In fact, there was stipulations within that. So the marketing has to reside within what the accommodations of the lease agreement of educational health. There was a number of parameters that facility could be utilized for. And we have to try to keep within that.
For sure.
Or approach the province for maybe an amendment to the usage of that facility. I'm not sure that they would be amenable to that. But we will definitely continue to incorporate whatever we can to make the CLEC as successful as it can be. And realizing the financial impact of employment and local utilization of products and circular economy is one thing that we rely on within that facility as much as we.
For sure, if it was a like net balance, the positive of employing all those people is, you know, makes up for any loss.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I'll try
obviously,
to juggle.
yeah, obviously everyone just wants to see it be
No, for sure.
you know, surplus.
Mr. Garrett, any questions today?
Not today,
Not today?
What?
I'm saving up.
And I think what we did bypass was the capital projects within public works. We didn't discuss those. So we will start with that on our next April 6th meeting and then go from there. So we'll give you time to do your homework on your capital projects.
Take the date, Mr. Mayor,
Pardon me?
was that the date?
April 3rd
Oh,
at 5 p.m.
I thought I heard six, you said six this time.
Oh, that's fine.
I had a thought.
Yeah.
Good line, we'll go together.
You can send your assistant, assistant deputy superintendent.
You really want to
That's okay.
Are we good today, ladies and gentlemen? Looking for adjournment?
Adjournment.
Everybody